Guys, what is up? It's your girl Jay Handy coming at you with another new video. And for this video, I thought it would be a good idea to do another storytime video since I haven't done one since God knows when. And yeah, but before I get started, I thought about telling this story about the time I quote-unquote escaped from school on accident. And let me remind you, this was an accident. I did not escape school on purpose. This was a complete accident, and this happened while I was in middle school. So yeah, I just want to tell you guys that, and this is something that I never really told my friends in high school or my cousins. So if you guys are watching this video, this is going to be the first time you're ever going to hear me tell you this story. And now, let me tell you again, this was an accident, okay? I did not do this on purpose. This was a complete accident. So, yeah, and by the way, if you guys see me touching my hair a lot, it's kind of become a problem. So, yeah, just ignore the fact that I'm touching my hair. Anyway, I'm going to tell you guys the story. Okay, so this happened on, I remember the day so clearly. It was October 5th, 2012, and this happened on a Friday. And I remember what I was doing that day. So I was in middle school, and I was in 6th grade when this happened. And so, yeah. And by the way, if you hear any noise in the background, my TV is on in the living room. So, yeah, anyway, so I'm just in school. I'm in reading class, and I'm just sitting there doing my work, and this happened on a Friday. And so, for some reason, I thought it was Thursday. I literally thought it was Thursday. So then, well, actually, I remember I had reading class at the end of the period. Every Thursday I had reading class at the end of the period. Well, it would just be the last class of the day. And so then, yeah, this happened on a Friday, and I thought it was Thursday. And so then, just doing my work, and then all of a sudden I go to my locker, I grab all my stuff, and then I just walk home like usual. And then right when I get home, I open up my flip phone. I had a flip phone at the time, and so I open up my phone, and I think it's 1 o'clock or 1:30. I don't remember. I'm like, oh my god, I'm supposed to be in math class right now. And so then after that, I'm literally pacing around my dining room, freaking out. Oh my god, what do I do? Do I go back to school or do I stay home? So then I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out so bad. And so then I thought it would be a good idea just to sit in my dining room and do nothing until 3 o'clock. And my middle school ended at 2:38. So I thought it would be a good idea to just sit in my dining room till 3 o'clock and just sit there and do nothing. So yeah, that's what I decided to do. And then a few minutes go by as I'm just sitting there, and it's 2:20 p.m. And I think I was home for about 20 minutes since this happened. So yeah, I was home for 20 minutes, and all of a sudden I hear the doorbell. I go to the front door, and there's a curtain there. I couldn't really see who it was, but I saw a shadow. I'm squinting really hard trying to see who it is, and I couldn't really tell who it was. So then I'm okay, I'm not gonna answer the door. I'm home alone, and and I was 12 when this happened, so I'm okay, I'm home alone, I'm 12 years old, not gonna answer the door right now. So then I go back into the dining room, and then all of a sudden I hear knocking. I hear like knocking, and so then I go out the side door, and then when I go out there, there is a police officer out there, and I saw him looking at my window. I'm like, "Hi, may I help you?" He's like, "Yeah," and then he was like, "Oh, are you so and so? Did you like happen to leave school by accident?" And I was like, "Yes," and I told him who I was and that I left school by accident, and he was not mad at all. The police officer was not mad at all. So then the police officer was saying to me, "Okay, I'm gonna take you back to school now, no worries." And so then I grab my backpack, and then the police officer drives me back to school, and then he takes me to the principal's office, and I was like, okay, she's probably mad at me, but then she told me, she's like, okay, she's like, I know this was an accident. I know you didn't mean to do this on purpose. I know. She knew that it was an accident, and so then she calls my parents. She calls my mom, and then she gives me the phone, and then I like told her what happened, and so then I'm like crying like as I'm talking to her, and so then yeah, I just told her everything that happened, and then and after I'm done talking to her, I like stay for a little while because the principal wanted me to like stay. So then I did stay, and then when the bell rang, she's like, "Okay, you can go now." And I was like, "Okay," and then I was like still like upset. And so then as I'm walking home, I'm like crying on the way home because I was like, oh my god, like I can't believe like this happened to me. Like I'm like crying. And so then I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear the doorbell ring, and all of a sudden I thought it was the same police officer. I literally thought it was the police officer that came to my house earlier. And so then I go to the side door to see if anybody's there, and two of my friends were there. Two of my friends from middle school, who I barely even talk to till this day. So two of my friends from middle school were there, and they're like, "Hey, you know, we heard what happened," and they were saying to me that our math teacher was not mad at me. They're like, I'm like standing there crying. They're like, "Oh, like our math teacher's not mad at you." And I was like, "Okay, like that's great." And so then they're like, "Oh, would you like to hang out with us? Like, we feel really bad for you." And so then I called my mom, and like I was like, "Hey, I'm home," and like my friends stopped by, and they want to know if I can hang out with them. They're like, "Okay, yeah, just like keep me updated on what you're doing." And so then she let me like hang out with them, and yeah, so I hung out with them after that. And the next day, this was a Saturday, I had to cheer, and I literally thought that some of the cheerleaders like knew what happened, but meanwhile they didn't. And I was like, okay, good. But the night of my escape, which happened on accident, the night of my escape on accident, I was like dreaming that day over and over again. I was like literally dreaming about it, and I literally woke up. I'm like, oh my god, because I literally thought I was reliving that. And so then yeah, and next day I had to cheer. This was a Saturday night. I had to cheer, and I thought some of the cheerleaders were gonna like be saying, "Oh, like we heard what happened to you. Like, is it true?" I thought they were gonna like say that to me, but meanwhile they didn't. Sorry guys if I keep touching my hair. yeah, it's become a habit. But yeah, I literally thought some of the tutors were gonna be like, oh, we know what happened, is that true? They didn't say that. And I was like, okay, good. And so then when I returned to school, I was in social studies, and my math teacher was kind of like the assistant teacher in our social studies class. And so then she pulls me out of class into the hallway and talks to me. She's like, Julia, I know what happened. I know it was an accident. And then she said to me, oh, well, if you did that on purpose, I would have been very angry at you. And I told her that it was an accident. And, like, that's what we were just talking about. And, yeah, she completely understood that the whole thing was just an accident. And, yeah. And also, while I was in the principal's office, the day of my escape, she said that it happened to somebody else like 2 days before. And so then, like, she understood that it was an accident. So yeah. And also, me telling you guys this story, I thought about it for a while. I'm like, do I really want to tell you guys this story on the internet? And this is a story that I never really told any of my friends in high school. This is a story I never really told my cousins, actually. And yeah. And guys, I really appreciate you watching my videos. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like watching my videos. And yeah, and please subscribe to my channel down below. We are almost at 140 subscribers. Can you believe that? And so yeah, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, which is down there, so that way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And also follow my social media, which will be in the description below. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Peace!